Scott here at Madcoilbuilt again. Hope everybody is staying home, staying safe, staying virus free in this crazy time. Luckily enough, mail's still running to get us some parts for the cars we're working on here. I am staying pretty much closed, just doing drop off only and online orders at the moment. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of that 6-liter G-body project we're working on. This is actually the intake manifold for it. I've been waiting for this for a while so that I could put basically the fuel system on, the Holley EFI on, so we can fire it up so we can stop pushing this thing around the shop because it's so heavy. So this is the first time I use this manifold. I haven't seen it before. We're going to take a look at it. Oh, it is nice actually. This thing over here. Oh. That's actually it for the box. Correction. It actually does come with all the brackets to install, fuel rails, dual fuel rails with our 8AN fittings and bolts. Looks like they're all stainless as well. I like to see that. And it comes with our line for connecting the two. Get this thing out of the plastic here. In the other pile we got our O-rings, more bolts, more fittings for install. Wow, this is a nice piece, guys. We don't do a ton of V8 work here, but this thing is a nice addition to this project. I'm gonna grab the camera here and give you guys a little better shot. So it's a billet EFI flow manifold. I'll show you guys the car that this is going on. This car right here, 86 G-body. Just did fresh paint. Obviously it's gonna have a badass set of wheels and be lowered a bit. Don't mind those ugly wheels. We have the 6-liter in here with the aluminum 799 heads and the GM hot cam. We're also gonna be doing complete interior. We've put a complete exhaust on it, upgraded the transmission and a bit of the suspension already. We got Royce over here working on this 9th gen. He's installing a new shifter cable on it. Had a broken shifter cable and a couple engine lights actually. We're going to do some diagnosing on it. So other than that, that's pretty much what's going on. The rest of the build's kind of the same since the last video. So I think I'm going to install that manifold and we'll pick the video up there. I'm just getting this prep for install here. I'm going to put my O-rings in and my port plugs and vacuum fittings that we need, and then we'll be able to flip it over and install the rails so we can put it on the car. O-rings installed. Now I'm just going to install my plugs here. Now it didn't actually come with any plugs. It just came with vacuum fittings. So we're only going to need the one on this for the booster. So I found 3 plugs that I'm going to use for there. We're going to Teflon them and we're going to thread them in. These are our brackets for our fuel rail, which we'll have to install. I'm going to go ahead and install the other side. These are our fuel fittings for our crossover tube. And then we're going to have the feed coming in here on this car. And this one will be the cap. Alright, so that is everything on there needed. Our crossover tube on the back. It's a nice manifold, I'm happy with this. The only things left here are bolts to install it and our spare fittings that we're not going to use. So I'm going to take this out, set it on the car, and we will see how that looks. I've set the manifold on there, double checked my O-rings before I did. Really brings that engine to life. Already got some big tube headers on here. So I'm gonna get the bolts in there. Get this thing bolted down next. Alright, so I started putting my bolts in here. I'm gonna torque it down. I do see something I'm gonna have to change, which is gonna be this alternator. I mean, it does work, but it seems like the tensioner is gonna be slightly in the way. And I did want to bring my fuel in over here because my line's up front. So I think we'll probably get the relocation kit for the alternator power steering to move it down, move the tensioner down, and then this will be much more open for a nice big billet throttle body. So we're going to torque this to factory specs with our torque wrench. Alright, we're all torqued. Need our injectors and throttle body next. Nice manifold, eh? It kind of has the V-stacks inside of it. And we're going to have to get this relocation to move this down now before I can put on the throttle body and intake setup that we have for it. Hey guys, got that manifold installed. That was a quick little glimpse of what we got going on with that project. I haven't really showed you guys anything yet. We do have a bunch more parts to install on it that I'll be showing you guys in the next video after I get a couple little things that I realize we're going to need in between to install them. So that's going to be it for this one, and please like, comment, share the page, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next video.